how to build an automatic item sorting system in Minecraft. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully functioning item filter right here in your base. So we're going to start by planning the layout of our sorting system. Each section of the sorting system will be 5 chests long, like this line you can see here. So let me place 5 double chests like this. Now you probably want a sorting system that's bigger than this. So if you want to extend it, you want to have a block gap, and then you want to build the same thing again. I'm probably going to call this a pod or a cell in the future, just to make it easier. But let's say you don't just want to go in a straight line forever and have all your items in an infinite row of chests. Let's say you want to eventually turn a corner. You need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then once again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to have your next cell like this. Now, I doubt you want your item sorter to only be 1 double chest tall, so you have a few methods to extend it. You can either do this one, which looks better on the outside, where you have a bunch of chests on top of each other with hoppers like this. And then if I were to put a bunch of items in this one, they'd go into this chest until it fills up, and then this chest until it fills up, and then this chest until it fills up. And the downside with this is if I were to take everything out of this chest, these two would still be filled and they wouldn't move down. Now instead of that, if you stagger them like this, now it doesn't look so good on the outside. However, no matter where you put your items, they will always end up in the bottom chest. But I think this one looks much nicer, so I'm gonna do this one. And once again, you can make these as tall as you want. It's completely up to you, but you probably don't wanna make it too tall because at some point you're just wasting a bunch of wood on chests. And so now on top of each one of these cells, you're gonna have a row of blocks like this, and then a row of hoppers pointing into those blocks. Now make sure all of your hoppers are pointing at the blocks and not at each other. So the redstone for these is actually super easy. We're gonna come down 2 blocks from the top here, and then come out 4. So you can see down 2, out 4, and then here, here, and at the back, we're going to have blocks again, and then connect to these bottoms. We're going to come over here and put a redstone torch, repeater, repeater, then jump on top, redstone, 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 and comparator. And everything should be lining up just like this. So while I'm replicating all of these, I'd love to hear your feedback on this tutorial down below. And don't forget, you can always subscribe to get more tutorials like this. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. So now we need to link all of these up with a water channel so that our items can flow through and be picked up by each sorting section that wants it. I'm going to start at this end one, and above each of these comparators, I'm going to place glass, and then I'm going to keep placing glass all the way until it matches where the comparators are on this turned one. And so now on the other side, what we're going to do is I'm going to use some oak slabs, and we're going to do the same thing on top of the hoppers like this. If you made it this far in the tutorial, why don't you comment #sorting_squad. Now let's say you want an extra chest at the end that catches all the items that don't fit in your system. So we're going to go down to right here. We're going to put a chest with a hopper on top, and then we're going to wrap glass around this. And if you want to be safe, you can put one on top, but I'm not sure it's necessary because the items don't go too fast in this. And we'll also need to replace this glass with a sign of some sorts. So something like that, so that items can fit through, but I'll explain that in a minute. So now we need to hook up the actual water and item loader. So we're gonna come over here to the leftmost section, and we're going to build out 1 block this way, and then 2 blocks back. And then if I were to put a block here, this is where the item loader is gonna go. So let's hook up all of the water channels first. Let's box this in with glass, just to make it look nice. And then the water source block will be here. I may as well put it here. And you can see it travels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks. So after that, we want to refresh it. So we're gonna put 2 glass, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because 1 water and it travels 7 blocks. Then we're going to place our ice again, and then need to get back over here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this is long enough. It doesn't have to go the max distance. So we're gonna put ice here again, and it'll keep repeating like this. And then that's just how you fit everything in. And you can, of course, actually make each of these cells a little bit longer to use the max distance of the water. However, this first one has to be 5, and I like everything to look nice and be the same size, so I make all of them 5. So now on each of these ice spots, I'm going to put a sign like this. Sign here, sign here. So we have 1 water, and it goes to here. and then another water, and it goes to here, and then one last water, that goes here. And so now we have a few more things to do. So if I were an item in the system, I'd hit this slab and I'd just keep going and I'd never be over the hoppers. But we need our items to be over the hoppers so they get picked up. So we're gonna break this slab and we're going to put a chest in here because chests are 1 pixel shorter than slabs. So I would be lined up just perfectly to barely touch the hoppers whenever I go over them. And if you're wondering why we don't just have the water over the hoppers, it's because sometimes items can get stuck inside the little dents in the hoppers. So I'll go in, I'll line up with this chest, I'll barely go 1 pixel in and go over all these hoppers. And then over here, we'll need to line them up again. So we'll break this, put another chest, and we'll line up again 1 pixel and barely go over all these hoppers and then go into the trash bin if nothing sorts us. So now let's do the item loader. And you want to make sure you're using a dropper and not a dispenser, because if you try sorting something like TNT or arrows, that won't work out very well. So I'm going to protect the redstone here with a couple of blocks just to make sure the water doesn't pour all over it. Going to replace this with a dropper that is facing the wrong way. And we're going to put a hopper on top and a chest on top. So now the items you're going to sort go in this chest. So now we're going to put some trapdoors in these 2 spots and close them. And you want to waterlog this one. We're going to put some glass on top, and then we're going to come around back and we're going to make this kind of shape right here. So just copy this. And I'm going to do a design that works in both Java and Bedrock for you. So we're going to need these things, put a comparator into a block, then have redstone and a block, and then that's not a repeater. This is a repeater. There's my repeaters on 7. And that goes into a block with redstone. Sometimes that can mess up the hoppers if it goes too fast, so you want to set this repeater on 3 ticks. So I went and put redstone blocks next to all these hoppers to effectively turn them off as if they were already sorting something else. So now if we put half a stack of stone in here, you'll see it shoots out. The trapdoors make sure the items line up with the chest. Then once they line up, they go down through here. And of course, nothing's picking them up because nothing's sorting stone. They're all turned off. I keep picking up the stone. It's annoying. And then it'll slowly work its way down here. Then when it touches that edge, it'll go this way. Nothing picks it up here, nothing picks it up here, and it makes it all the way to this junk chest. So now we have a fully built item sorter. But how do we filter things? The answer has been in this chest all along. A lot of wooden shovels and some dirt. So I'm going to come to my anvil, and I'm going to rename all of this dirt, I don't know, uwu. Sure. Now I have 64 uwu dirt, and the reason of course for doing this is that this is different than normal dirt now, so I can sort normal dirt and this won't get in the way. Alright, so I got all the wooden shovels, the 64 uwu dirt, and a bunch of random minerals. So I'm going to come to each of these hoppers, and this first one, let's do a diamond. So we're going to put 1 diamond, we're going to put 3 uwu dirt, and make sure we're putting it in all these individual slots. Don't stack it up like this. Do 3 individually, and then a wooden shovel. And you'll see if I were to go around here, this 3rd redstone is powered. So the second 1 diamond enters there, this 4th one will power, which will cause whatever 1 diamond's in here to fall through. And that's how the sorter works. So now we'll do 1 lapis, 3 uwu dirt, and a shovel, 1 quartz, 3 uwu dirt, and a shovel. I think you get the point. And now you can see all the ones I've loaded have these redstone torches on for the comparators. And so now if I were to dump a bunch of this stuff in here, you'll see it all shoots out and slowly gets sorted into its correct spots. However, if you're instead interested in everything sorting into 1 chest, then instead of doing this whole thing, what you're gonna do is have chests like this, have your normal sorters in all 5 of these blocks, but then have these hoppers point together. So then if I were to have, say, this gold and emerald sorter, then these will both pick up gold and emeralds, but they'll put them all into the same chest down here. Now here's a playlist of a bunch of really cool redstone things that'll probably save you a lot of time in Minecraft. Also, I'd really like to thank you guys for 100,000 views on the old item sorter video. There were a lot of issues with it, but this one definitely clarifies all the problems that one had.